Well, great cities have great gardens, and Des Moines, as the capital city, did not have a significant garden.
I had been here 5 times my whole life before this thing started.
Before this, we did not have a botanical garden. We had the dome and some tropical, semi-tropical plants that they planted a long time ago and never changed. Were growing through the roof. Polly did a great thing in getting it started.
They had purchased that section of land, and it used to be a brick and tile factory. We had groundbreaking the 29th of October of 1977, and we opened 6 months after the Civic Center did in 1979. And it happened to be the same day the Pope was out at Living History Farms. As he flew over, he tipped his wings and blessed the center, we decided. Well, like any plant, it's a growing, it changes and different seasons and different things.
It was now run by the waterworks and had been for some 3 or 4 years. Saved by the waterworks, by the way. Without them, it would have gone down the tubes.
At one point, had the waterworks not saved the Botanical Center at that time, the city probably would have torn it down, and that would have been a tragedy.
Well, LD is, Dr. McMullen is an extremely able person, and I don't know the inner workings that joined the waterworks in the city to take it over. Sometimes, I'm sure there's more than one reason. But once having taken it over, he staffed it well. It didn't sparkle, but it got better. And as I told you, he was seeing the red ink all the time, and he was running a water company, and here he was operating a facility like this that had red ink, and then they wanted me to get involved, and I said, no, I'm not going to get involved. Time went on, and they did prevail on me to, and I just sort of became interested in this place because there was so much potential, and there are very few towns worth their salt that don't have good botanical gardens.
You know, I got involved because Buzz asked. I agreed that this was an amenity that would be a major addition to what we had to offer in Des Moines, and I think it's important that we have the best possible things to offer.
It just excited me. And then I was mad. I was mad we didn't have anything. I got mad. I got, pissed off. You know, we don't have what we want. We deserve it.
We have a great arts center. We have a civic center. We have a science center. We have a zoo. We have the opera. We have a symphony.
Why do they? Why do they have symphonies? And why do they have great libraries? They have great institutions, but you know, probably more people love gardening than love opera, and we have a fine opera, and so do other cities. It has such mass appeal.
Well, Buzz and I grew up together, and Buzz does some extraordinary things.
Told Tom Urban and I at lunch. We were having lunch at the Waveland Cafe. He said, what do you do? We've grown up together. What are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not doing well. I've had these projects, and one that isn't. I've not been able to do anything with is this damn botanical center. And there's so much there. We got to close the road. We got to do all this thing. And you know, that was at a time when Tom had some time on his hands. He was looking for something.
So Janice Ruan joined us, and Buzz brought in Fred White, and the 4 of us decided maybe we could do something.
You know, with Tom's interest and Janice's interest, and then Fred and I have known each other forever, and he, you know, he's done so much, but he wanted one more. And he said yes. How can you fail?
Aha!
You know, I like projects, and this was certainly a project.
I called them, you know, the boys, We couldn't have survived without each and every part of the puzzle, truly.
I was invited to come on board after the vision plan had been pretty much established.
We were really lucky in the sense that DuPont decided that DuPont itself needed to be important here.
Bingo, they came through with $3 million, and that was when we really decided it was time to take off.
While it's hard to raise the capital, it is really hard to raise operating money. So we have $675,000 a year committed from the city and Bravo and the Waterworks.
But we insisted that we had to do that first before we could start raising money.
Without that, I think right now we'd probably be $500,000 in the hole.
We always knew we wanted to have wow factors. So I called Doug Hare's office, and we had heard about him because he's responsible for Michigan Avenue, the Miracle Mile. And so he had a vision, and we're seeing that today.
The decision to close the road, to tie it to the water, was the critical decision.
We have the pedestrian bridge, we're on the Riverwalk, we're a horticultural educational jewel.
I think it's dramatic, and I think it gives unity to the place.
What I'm thrilled for is that we have the water features.
I was afraid of the water for a while. As a matter of fact, I was swimming at the Y when the board decided they took a vote and they were going to do this. I came back and Tom said, "Buzz, we're going to have a water feature. Are you okay with that?" Well, of course. So, that's a great thing.
I think the foundation has been laid for a good, long history. Well, I hope it would last 100 more years, like botanical gardens in Europe have.
The project has surpassed my expectations. It's phenomenal.
It's beginning to show its colors.
And now I think we're going to be able to say, come to Des Moines and see our botanical garden. It's special.
And it's been, I think, truly a labor of love for everybody. And I've loved working with Buzz and Tom and Fred.
You know, it's one of the high points in my life, obviously. You know, it's so splendid. Thanks a lot.